Today we're in the Lazyboy factory in Cape Town. Here they make one of the world's most comfortable recliners, combining stylish looks with support that one can just sink into. Recliners are made of three parts: a base, a back and side arms. In a Lazyboy, the frame is made of wood. This factory uses very modern CNC machines to cut out the various wooden pieces from a large piece of chipboard. CNC means computer numerical control. The computer in the machine interprets commands to cut the board in the most effective way so as to have very little wastage. This machine uses a router blade to cut the wood and drill bits to drill holes of different sizes. Cutting and drilling takes between 25 and 45 minutes depending on the size and complexity of the design. The pieces are broken out by hand and rough edges are smoothed off. The components for the recliner are put into order to move to the next stage of production, where they'll be turned into a Lazyboy recliner. In the first stage of assembly, the various wooden pieces that we've just seen being cut are put together. The wooden pieces that will form the back of the recliner are glued and pinned into position. The factory uses air-powered tools to make assembly of the wooden pieces very fast. The frame of the seat is assembled, once again being glued and pinned into position. The springs are put into position and filler pieces and lining are added. Pre-cut pieces of foam are glued together to form the cushion of the seat. The glue gun that's used here also operates on compressed air, so the various tools can be unplugged and changed over very quickly. The padding and support foam pieces are stapled into position on the seat. The seat frame is now complete and ready to be covered in full leather or in fabric or leather uppers. The arm of the recliner is assembled next. Each piece of wood is glued and pinned into place using compressed air guns to provide a very strong frame. The patented Lazyboy mechanism is assembled using pre-cut metal pieces. This is the mechanism that allows the recliner to tilt back, releasing the footrests slowly into position. Each piece is secured in place and the mechanism is ready to be fitted to the frame. The base pieces are fitted to the internal mechanism and secured firmly. As the production of the base proceeds, parts are added to the frame. These pre-assembled parts are added to give the base strength and shape. The completed base frame is moved to the next station. Here cardboard, lining material and pieces of foam are added to give cushioning to certain areas. The leather used to make a Lazyboy comes from all over the world. It's cut to shape in the leather cutting section of the factory. To start the process, a very sensitive overhead camera scans each skin, while tools are placed onto the skin to determine if there are any defects on the skin. A nesting program determines the best way to cut the skin into the various shapes required to make the recliner with as little wastage as possible. Each skin is sold by the square meter and is very costly. The barcode on each skin is scanned and then transferred via a laser beam to the cutting table. The workers can now position the skin on the imprint of the laser beam. Now the cutting heads move across a bridge to cut the skin. A water jet cutter is used to cut the leather. This water is under very high pressure and the machine switches the water jet on and off as required to create very accurate cuts. Once the cutting is complete, the pieces of leather are removed. They're sorted into stacks, with each stack containing the various shapes that will be used to cover the recliner. The leather stacks move into the sewing section of the factory. Sewing machines are controlled by very experienced operators who sew pieces of leather together so that they will fit perfectly into position when applied to the recliner frame. Once they've been prepared, the leather covers are filled with polyester fiber in the various parts that have been sewn into the cover. Pre-cut foam is fitted into position. Once all the parts have been filled, glue is used to fit the filling into position and the cover is zipped together. Now the padded leather upholstery is stapled to the recliner frame. Here the seat cover is applied to the frame. The first step is to set the cover into position on one side of the frame. Once the upholsterer is satisfied with the positioning, he stretches the leather over the frame and staples it into position. This employee has been working at the factory for over 20 years and forms part of the production team that makes up to 40 Lazyboy recliners every day. A support piece is added to the headrest, stapled into place, and the top of the headrest is sealed. The arms of the recliner are next to be covered. The cover is stapled into position and then stapled to the frame of the arm until it's correctly positioned. Foam cushioning is applied and secured into place using fast drying glue. Extra cushioning is put into place and the leather cover is stretched over the arm frame. Once it's correctly positioned, the upholsterer switches to a staple gun, staples the cover into place, and provides the finishing touches. The back of the recliner is prepared in a very similar way. Springs and lining are added to the frame and the foam cushioning is applied. Sections of the back have the leather covering fitted and the thickly padded upholstery cover is stapled to the frame. The employees working for this company are well trained and the production line is extremely efficient, making a very tricky job look quite easy. The three parts of the recliner are now complete and ready to be fitted together. The first step is to fit the seat to the base. Here we can see the mechanism in the base of the recliner, and the mechanism operating lever is fitted into position. The springs are attached to the rocker of the recliner. One of the features of Lazyboy recliners is their ability to rock, and here the rocking mechanism is fitted. The rocker base is fitted and screwed into position, and then the rocker base is attached to the chair base and the mechanism is tested. This Lazyboy recliner is almost complete. The final step is to attach the back of the seat. The back fits into two slots in the base and the skirt is secured by Velcro strips to cover the opening. One last task remains, and that is to test the recliner, one of the nicest parts of the quality control process. There are many different styles and designs available in the home furniture field. Lazyboy recliners are known around the world for their quality and that feeling of luxurious relaxation that they impart.